Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 20, text number 15 and 16. So Shayishthab Dishalile Andakosho Niratmakaha Sagram Vaishvarsha Sahasram Anvavat Sitam Ishvaraha. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. For over 1,000 years, the shiny egg lay on the waters of causal ocean in the lifeless state. Then the Lord entered it as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. Purport. From this verse it appears that all universes are floating on the causal ocean. Text 16. Tasyanabher abhut padmam sasrar korudidhiti sarva jivanika yauko yatra swayam abhut swarat. From the navel of the personality of Godhead, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu sprouted a lotus flower, effulgent like 1,000 blazing suns. The lotus flower is a reservoir of all conditioned souls. And the first living entity who came out of the lotus flower was the omnipotent Brahma. Purport. It appears from this verse that the conditioned souls who rested within the body of the personality of Godhead after the dissolution of the last creation came out in some total form of the lotus. This is called Hiranyagarbha. The first living entity to come out was Lord Brahma, who is independently able to create the rest of the manifested universe. The lotus is described here as effulgent as a glare of 1,000 suns. This indicates that the living entities as parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord are also of the same quality. Since the Lord also diffuses his bodily glare known as Brahma Jyoti. The description of Vaikuntha Loka as stated in Bhagavad Gita and other Vedic literature is confirmed herewith. In Vaikuntha, the spiritual sky, there is no need of sunshine, moonshine, electricity or fire. Every planet there is self-effulgent like the sun. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So how the creation began with the Brahmandas coming out of Mahavishnu in the form of an egg, that's why it's called Brahmanda. And this shiny egg is laying on or floating on the causal ocean. And into that shiny golden egg, Mahavishnu expanded as Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. And from the navel of Garbhodakashayi Vishnu sprouted a lotus flower which is effulgent like 1,000 blazing suns. And on the top of the lotus flower, Brahma was born. And it is described here that the lotus flower, the stem of the lotus flower was so effulgent. The lotus flower itself was so effulgent that it is said that that lotus flower is made up of the effulgent living entities, particles from Brahma Jyoti. So it is not an ordinary lotus flower. It's a lotus flower which is every point in it, every element in it is a jiva. The topmost jiva in that is described to be the first living entity who opened his eyes and saw that he was sitting on a lotus, full of. So, this is, all these things can never be experimentally verified. And all these things would never be considered to be of any relevance to so-called modern scientific mind. They would say, why are you reading all these things? What is the relevance of all these things? Nobody can verify. It must all be imagination of Vyasa. How do we know? This is what their argument is. Any author can create a poetic composition. Srimad Bhagavatam is simply one poetic composition of Vyasadeva. If we fall into their logic, what they are saying is correct. From their perspective. Because for them, from their perspective, truth means it is to be amenable to one of the five senses. Because they are in the bodily concept of life, they identify that my knowledge means it has to come through one of my five senses. Or if my five senses cannot directly verify, even indirect verification is okay. If I get something reading in the meter, finally with my eyes I can see a meter which is indicating that there is a charge here or this, that also I will accept. So directly or indirectly, finally the proof of everything has to be with the five senses. Only that it makes sense. So by definition they have limited their knowledge. So therefore what they are saying from their perspective is very correct. But what they don't try to understand is, even as a possibility, can there not be some ready-made source of knowledge which you may not be able to build up from your elements? From elemental knowledge you cannot build up that compounded knowledge. But knowledge is there. And you also know that knowledge has to be there. Knowledge about universe has to be there. Some explanation has to be there. And we don't have full explanation of what is this universe, what is the end of the universe, what is the boundary of the universe. Even according to our own calculations, we have not found the limit of the existence, material existence, which our gross eyes can see. So the curiosity is there in every human being. Curiosity is there in the scientists. They want to know. But they're limiting themselves by approaching knowledge, approaching existence through five senses. Whereas, little common sense if they use, look, anyway you are searching for knowledge. You are searching for cause of all causes. What if there is another method which is beyond the limitations of your five senses? Why you have to stick to only one path? If you desire to know the truth, why are you stuck to your five senses? Because there are so many things which your five senses are showing to be defective. And because you use your intelligence, then you correct your perceptions of your five senses. You look at it with your naked eyes, you see the sun, it looks like a disc. But is it a disc? No. So you use your intelligence, you use knowledge to understand it is not a disc, but it is a ball of fire. So you don't go by what your eyes dictate. So all your senses are very defective. See, anything you learn from a defective instrument will also be defective and incomplete knowledge. Therefore, we are proving to you that all the knowledge that you produce cannot be perfect because the input mechanism is imperfect. Let us say you are doing some chemical experiment, chemistry, physics experiment. If your instrument is not calibrated properly, you get wrong readings and you get wrong result and wrong conclusions, is it not? The same way our five senses, we can very easily prove that they are defective. What it sees is not reliable, what it hears is not reliable. It is incomplete, imperfect, tendency to commit mistake. Over and above that, it is not simply the gross instruments, even the scientist has a mind. So many scientists, they have a mind, all the scientists have a mind, and so many scientists, they cheat also, because cheating propensity is there for the mind. They'll cook up all the results to prove that this is it. And lot of cheating is going on anyway. We all now know about that. When somebody wants something, to promote something, then they will do some investigation, sampling, experimentation, and then they will give it to the newspaper. They'll say, oh, it is found, this is it, this is it, this is it. And the whole world will read. Every product that we actually consume today, it is completely controlled by the industries, mafia. If you see all the lifestyle changes that has happened in the last 50 years, what all man used to use then, what all man thought is his need, and today what all man thinks is his need, whether from the kitchen to everything else, dress to everything. All those products, the industrialists, they create research, which is self-motivated research, find out results and propagate, and everybody reads, oh, this is not good, this is good. In the 1960s, they created a research and they said, oh, coconut oil is not good. Because the industry wanted to create this refined oil. So now the whole world is using refined oil. As coconut oil had such wonderful properties, natural properties. Like that you want to destroy any industry, they will create and they will destroy. They'll create a long-term plan. And then they will buy the politicians. Everything happens in America. America starts, the world follows. They buy the politicians. And the politicians say, it's not good for human being, let us pass some legislation. Let us have extra tax, this, that, all kinds of things. Then completely manipulate the masses towards the direction they want. So science is being completely misused. So anyway, I was referring to the point of cheating propensity of living entities. And mind has this cheating propensity. So with this cheating propensity, they create so many different kinds of theories. Of course, at the fine level of, truth-seeking scientists, they don't cheat like that. But they don't intentionally cheat or they don't join into a collusion with anybody to cheat. Because it's too rigorous today. The mathematics and the community and everything has to be accepted by the whole world. It's not simply some industry accepts. Some industries can do, capitalists can sponsor some research and bring some conclusions on different products. But not on the, what is atom, what is this, what is all those things, nobody can. Because It's a very established network of credibility. But still, they cannot, they are limiting themselves from knowing more, which is all beyond our senses. Even today, the scientists cannot understand what is brain, what is mind. What is brain and what is mind? It's called the mind-brain problem. Scientists, they're not able to solve. What is mind, what is brain? They see that many things that the mind, many functions of the mind have a corresponding center in the brain. That also they have researched, they have found out. But then what is this experience called mind? They do not. So in other words, when people ridicule the knowledge, descending process of knowledge, I mean, how can we also cannot with our senses, if we are not expected to go and verify and understand. If we want to understand, if Krishna gives special senses, you can, make a travel around and you can go around the entire existence and see all the Brahmandas floating on the causal ocean. You can see Mahavishnu, then you can see Garbhodaksha Vishnu, you can see all of them and come and report also if you want. If Krishna gives that, because, for instance, Krishna gave a special eyes to Arjuna to see the Vishwarupa, this universe. How this universe, the different variegatedness in this universe, Kala, time, destroying Sattva-guna, Tamoguna, Rajoguna, all the living entities, everything he saw, all the Devatas, everybody he saw. How can we see all such expanse with this, maybe 1 inch wide eyes? So it was special. Therefore Krishna says, I will give you cannot see with this eyes, I'll give you special eyes, now you see. So just because I cannot see, I cannot verify, it cannot say it does not exist. So we have full faith in the process of acquiring spiritual knowledge. This process of acquiring knowledge, that is a descending, that's our foundation. Otherwise, if you don't understand two processes of knowledge, anybody can shake your faith. They'll sit half an hour, the scientist will sit with you. What? You have been brainwashed for so long. Brahmanda is there, this is there, that is there, all these things. Why you are sitting and believing all these things? What is the science? Look at the science. These all theories created by somebody. And then, you'll scratch, oh, actually correct, I have not verified anything. You'll think, I have not verified anything. Even Krishna I have not verified. What is this? I am in Krishna consciousness movement. Somebody will come and say, how do you know Krishna is there? You have seen, huh? They will ask, no, I have not seen. And when you say, I have not seen, then again all these things, it hits you. Oh, I have not seen, correct. And then the guy, just like we preach Krishna consciousness to people, some smart guy comes and he can preach you un-Krishna consciousness. There are un-Krishna conscious preachers. They'll come and preach to you. And you will forget everything. And then you will really completely be bewildered. But if you know this, my basis of knowledge is the descending process of knowledge. Actually, you are also, in one sense, whatever little knowledge you know, you are also following the descending process of knowledge. You tell all the students in your chemistry class, you give them a textbook for that particular, second degree, second year, this is a textbook. What is it? Descending process of knowledge only. You have to believe that textbooks, no? And then you have to study that. Hey, have I verified? Have you verified the way you accept the degree? Why you accept the textbook? You should tell them same thing. You are also following descending process of knowledge. Now why do you accept that? Because authority. Yeah. I have seen so many people, they are all saying that it is all correct. Professor C.N.R. Rao is an accomplished person, so he has written this book, it is correct. So we'll go by this. Scientific community has accepted, the university has accepted this order. So authority. So in the descending process of knowledge, authority. See, all the principles are there here also in knowledge. Authority is there. If you are following that system, Why can't I follow that same system? My authority, I also have authority. We also have authorities, not that only Vyasa is saying. Even Krishna quotes authority in Bhagavad Gita. Narada, Vyasa, Sita, Devala. So many authorities he quotes. They are all authorities. So we are also quoting authority, and this is a book written by one such authority. Doesn't mean that now I will read all these things and I will realize. It is said that when you are going back to Goloka Vrindavan, you will go through all these places. It's not useless what you are reading this. Goloka Vrindavan, you go through all the 14 planetary systems, provided you cross Swargaloka. Why you will be taken through all that? If you have any desire left, you can make a stop. Anything other than the pure bhakti for lotus feet of Krishna, you can make a stop. Swargaloka, very nice. All right, get down. Be here for some more time. I will track you. There's a tracker on you. Super soul is there. I will track you. I'll give you credit for whatever you have got now. Then you cross and get out of the Brahmanda. Brahmanda is supposed to be, the Anda's covering is supposed to be so thick, so many millions and millions of miles of layers of different, Panchabhuta and everything. Cross that, then you can go to that sky, spiritual sky. And from there you have to cross the spiritual sky, the material sky. The material part of the spiritual sky is 1/4. And you see millions and billions of Brahmandas as described in the scriptures. That so many Brahmandas are there like mustard seeds, in a bag of mustard seeds. That many Brahmandas are there. Then you cross all that. Then you go to the Viraja river. Supposed to be a river in the boundary between some Vaikuntha Loka and material energy, material Loka. You have to cross that. Everything will be taken care. Your movement and all, you don't have to do anything. You are moving, you don't need any energy to move and all those things. You will be taken through all this if you develop your bhakti focus. And then the only thing is, to reach there, you should have single pointed desire to reach the lotus feet of Narayana and not have any other desires. So that is the reason why we are supposed to cultivate pure bhakti. When we are in this human form, that is the opportunity for us to eliminate all desires. I don't want anything. I don't want anything is not so important. What you want is very important. Because unless you have seen everything, you cannot really make a statement, I don't want anything. Is it not? Rather, bhakti means, I want only Krishna. I want only love for the lotus feet of Krishna. I depend upon the lotus feet of Krishna. I want to reach him. That single-pointed desire is what we are supposed to cultivate in bhakti, which is very difficult. But with the mercy of the person who has got that kind of bhakti from Prabhupada, from the Guru, from pure devotees, that bhakti can come to us, that determination, that bhakti energy can come into us. If the Guru is very pleased with our service, then he will give that seed of bhakti. That is a bhakti lata, bija. And then we have to cultivate that bhakti lata bija. There is a whole process to cultivate that bhakti lata bija. How to nourish that creeper of devotional service. And then we have to strongly hold on to the lotus feet of the spiritual master. Then we can reach the ultimate goal. Just see, what we are trying to do is something very, very sublime. Very, very sublime. And very, very difficult. Very, very, suppose they say, no, your plan is to go to, far off place. What is your goal in life? No, I have to go to Vaikuntha Loka. In terms of material space, it is far, 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 far up. You can't even go to America. You are saying you want to go to Goloka Vrindavan. So it's not an ordinary thing, yet such a thing is made viable to us by Srila Prabhupada, by our Acharya. So how much grateful we should be. What Prabhupada is not giving, the gift that Prabhupada is not something that for you to live in this world. He is giving you a gift to take you to another world. And this is only a small journey from this life, having surrendered to His lotus feet till death. It's a small journey. In that small journey you are being gifted what? Unbelievable thing. Going back to God. All this, why we are able to appreciate? Because when you read Bhagavatam and then you understand that how large the universe is, how big the universe is, how massive, gigantic, incomprehensible is the size of the existence, the creation of Lord, the potency of the Lord. By hearing these things, by hearing and having faith in what the Shastra says, then we understand the total universal, or you can call it not even universe. Universe means only limited to our universe. Existential geography. We study in our geography of earth, we study in school, right? Bhagavatam is giving us, in Bhagavatam includes existential geography. There is planet, which is where is spiritual world, this thing, all those things is being given here. Nobody else can give. Nobody else even has, no other religion, nobody else has tried to give this universal existential geography. Nobody has tried. No other religion gives. At least there is a religion where it is, where there is a knowledge which is giving us all these things. And in Bhagavad Gita we already know, at least this universe, an ordinary two-eyed man could see this Vishwarupa. Because God can show if He wants. So therefore it is said that spirit, where is Goloka Vrindavan? It is very, 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 very far. But for a bhakta, where is Goloka Vrindavan? Very, very far and very, very near. If something becomes very, very near, how it can be very, very far? But the fact is, that is a fact. It is simultaneously very, very far and very, very near. How can something be very, very far and very, very near? It can be, no? How? Suppose something is very, very, very far and your senses are infinite speed, and then it is very, very near, no? For an ant on this table, that corner of the hall is very, 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 very far. Now, I am sitting here, same distance I am judging. That distance for me is very, very, very near. Why? Because of my eyes. I have capacity to see so fast. So Krishna has got eyes of infinite capacity. So is anything far for Him? No. If you have infinite eyes that can see through all obstacles, any end you can see, then for that person, is there anything far? No. Just see, for Krishna how the existence is. Therefore Krishna says, I am not stuck in Vaikuntha, I am not stuck there. Wherever my kirtan goes on, I come there. I am there. Not that from there he has to travel all the way and come. Golokara Premadana, Harinama Sankirtana, it come all the way here. By the time you finish kirtan, it's too late. Come. No. As soon as you say Krishna, is stuck there. Krishna you say, is there, arrived. This you need to understand the omnipotency of Krishna. Only if you understand the omnipotency of Krishna, you will solve all these mysteries.
Yesterday you told about the faith in the lift when we go.
Faith?
When we travel in the lift, we travel by faith on the instruction of the spiritual master.
Yeah.
So now, actually, what is this faith? Because on different things we have different faiths. So when we say faith, what is the faith we should have in generic? Because one kind of faith is we believe in the truth, means we believe that it is truth, and another kind of faith and persons we can have that these persons will protect me, like that. So in terms of following the instructions of the spiritual master, what is generic faith that we should have, and how do we get it?
That faith is, how do you get that faith? What is that faith? This faith that we are talking is not blind faith. Not blind faith. Blind faith is, you see, this is a faith where I don't need explanation for every detail, but I need explanation for the source of that knowledge. Now the source of knowledge, if he is God, if he is perfect, if it is a perfect source, then I don't need explanation for details. I don't need fine intelligence to understand everything. For me, one understanding is enough. God told this, therefore it is backed by perfect intelligence. I don't need to develop special intelligence to know the details of this. Like yesterday I said, no intoxication, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling. I don't need to know all the details of it. Who told these things? Prabhupada told these things. Who told Prabhupada? This Guru told this. Who told finally? Krishna said. So it is coming from the absolute source. When something is coming from the absolute source, I don't. Bhaunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate. That's what Krishna says. It is our disease, because we are all we are roaming around with independence in this material world. So when we try to find an answer for all the mysteries of this existence, our tendency is to get convinced first. Unless I get convinced why I should not intoxicate, I cannot stop intoxication. Unless I am convinced why no illicit, I cannot. But you cannot get convinced because your brain is tiny, you cannot comprehend if I tell you. Your intelligence also has to open up. Your intelligence also has to become sattvic intelligence. Then what Krishna says, you will understand. Not that there is no explanation. There is perfect explanation why you should not do something, why you should do something. Every instruction has got perfect explanation. Explanation, reasoning, there is reasoning. But why should I wait for that reasoning? Because today Krishna tells me I cannot comprehend that reasoning because I am affected by Rajoguna and Tamoguna. I cannot comprehend this reasoning. Because God's knowledge is pure knowledge. It is free from contaminations. So let me not wait for all these things. Let me faithfully follow what Prabhupada says. That is called the path of bhakti. Bhaunam janmanam ante jnanavan ma prabadhyante. That Jnanavan doesn't mean he has understood everything. He understood the essence that I cannot understand. Then he surrenders to Krishna, who is Supreme Jnanavan. Infinite Jnanavan. You surrender to him. So, path of devotional service means not everybody can follow. Pure following faithfully. So much faith you have, you follow. When you try to follow something which Krishna has told, Guru has told, which you cannot understand, if you are disturbed, that means even still you follow, that means it is Jnana Mishra Bhakti. You need support of Jnana to follow what Guru said. Jnana Mishra Bhakti. No, I don't need any support. I implicit faith in my Guru. My Guru said this, finish, I follow. Krishna says this, I follow. Krishna says lust is enemy, I understand that. God has certified I am bigger than him, I have to say, no, there is some benefit there, lust. Something missed out in what Krishna said. Krishna says this is your eternal enemy. No, maybe I need to discover that. When I discover, then I will perfectly be free from lust. That is not the path of bhakti. You have faith, faithfully follow the instructions, then you will get perfect knowledge why it is poison. When Prabhupada says no intoxication, no meat eating, no illicit, no gambling, he does not give explanation to each one of them. Why not? Have you ever heard? When he went to America, when he told them, did you ever hear him giving explanation to all of those people? A rational explanation, did he give? He did not. But he simply told them. Some souls accepted it. He told that this is Krishna, this is Krishna's instruction, this is God's instruction. And they accepted it. Those who accepted it started following it. Those who started following it started benefiting. So similarly, if you are jnana-based follower, you can be jnana-based follower and you can be a Krishna-based follower. If you are Krishna-based follower, then you are taking advantage of Krishna's infinite knowledge and intelligence. If you are jnana-based follower, then you are only depending on your tiny brain's understanding, which can never be complete, and therefore that kind of following is never permanent. Suddenly Maya will come and demolish all your forts of knowledge, and you will be bewildered, and you will fall. Daivayeshu gunam mama maya prapadyate. Mameve prapadyante. But if you surrender to him, what is that surrender to him? In that particular verse, Mameve prapadyate. That means you have to surrender, because Maya is illusion. Overcoming illusion means knowledge. That means you have to surrender to his infinite intelligence. When you surrender to Krishna's infinite intelligence, that means everything that Krishna said, right. Mameve prapadyante, mayame tam tharantite. That is the thing. And Krishna's knowledge is available everywhere. He has freely. What does Mameve prapadyante mean? Surrendering to Bhagavad Gita. Finish every instruction in Bhagavad Gita, you surrender, you are out of Maya. Not some mystical thing, not concrete way. Krishna is giving a very concrete method. Here is all these things I have told in 18th chapter. You follow this Mayametam Tarantite. That means you have to have faith in every word that he said. So bhakti is not blind faith. Bhakti is faith in the infinite source. But faith is required. I have no intelligence, my tiny intelligence cannot comprehend everything that the Lord knows. Based on everything that the Lord knows, the Lord has given these instructions. Jai Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada.